Hello again, this is Lance Johnson with Rio Fire Jewelers. This is my website, www.riofire.com, and that's where I have most of my jewelry on, which goes to my Etsy site, and you can see what I make there. Today I want to do a demonstration. I've been asked to do a demonstration of how to prong set stones, and this is how I do it. I realize that there's a lot of different ways to do it, and this is just one of them. So the video is free, take it for what it's worth, and I'll move forward from here. Anyway, this is the tools that I'm going to be using today. The one on the left is just a basic pair of needle nose pliers. I use that a lot in almost everything that I make. The burr that I'm going to be using today, and I got this all goofed up, I tried to do this yesterday, and it is a bud burr. I kept calling it a different kind of burr than that, and so anyway, if I make a mistake through the rest of this video, this is a bud burr, and I find them much easier to make the cuts that I need to than just a ball burr. Sometimes when I'm doing 6 prong heads and I can't get a bud burr in there, I will use a ball burr. Next to it is just my soldering pick that I use a lot, and I'm going to turn this sideways a little bit, see if that'll give you a better view. My regular tweezers, which I use for soldering all the time, and I just took a pair of regular tweezers and I bent the end so that at the angle that I hold it, it is more or less flush to my soldering brick or whatever. The next thing I'm going to show you is a pair of pliers that you can get. That since I found out about these are primarily what I use in setting of bigger stones, say 5 millimeters and up. These are basically a channel, a small set of channel lock pliers. These, when I found out about these from another jeweler, he said they were timing pliers, and he got his at Sears. I think I did the same thing. They're not expensive, but they're worth their weight in gold for setting big stones, say from 5 millimeters to 20 millimeters or so. They're about 5 inches long, and just a very handy tool to have. So this is the tools that I'll be using today on making my my ring. And in making the ring, I used a regular 4 prong sterling silver head that I got from Rio Grande. And then let's see if I can find that piece of, sorry about that. This is a piece of wire that I'm going to use for the shank. It's just a stock piece that is a floral design, and so I don't have to do anything. It comes this way, but you'll see as I go along and make the ring. That being said, I wanted to draw some pictures of the prong and the steps that I go through in doing the prong. And this is a way that I've been doing it for quite some time. The way I've done things over the last 35-40 years is changed, and so this is how I do a prong. Figure 1 is just a regular square prong, and figure 2 I'll explain more as we go along, but I wanted you to see the steps that I go through. So figure 2, using the bud burr, I make a cut almost halfway, if not a little farther through the prong, and it would be the same if it was a round prong or a square prong. It works the same. And then figure 3 shows how I cut it out to make it accommodate the stone. Figure 4 is I turned the prong sideways a little bit so you can see how it's cut through from a little different angle. Hopefully you can understand that, and we'll make this really simple and easy for you. It's not rocket science unless you don't have any idea of how to do this, and then it becomes very frustrating and you break stones, and it will kind of drive you crazy. So that being said, I will proceed in section 2 to make the ring. There was a little hiccup between section 2 and section 3, but basically what it'll talk about is a lot of people will tell you that they want the stone set down in deeper, and so if that is the case, you just make these cuts a little deeper in the prong and slide the stone down farther. After you bend the prong over, you have more metal to cut off before you start shaping the prong. So that's what that was all about. So let's go from there.